Hey friends, I'm Laura with The Cozy Tree, where we make cozy goods and share biblical encouragement with others. Welcome to my series, Crochet Basics for Absolute Beginners. Now that we've covered the basics in lessons 2 through 7, we're going to explore some other stitches that are useful to know. Today's video is going to cover how to stitch in front loops only and back loops only. I'm going to show you step by step, slowly, multiple times so you don't miss it, and then show how it looks when it's done faster. Front loop and back loop stitches are really great for making stretchy ribbing on hats and sweaters and other more unique textures. They're super easy once you're able to see which loops to stitch into. So let's get started. So here are 2 strips of crochet ribbing. Now on these ones I did single crochet, and I did this one in front loops only and this one in back loops only. They create slightly different textures, different effects, so depending on the pattern you follow, you may need one or the other or both. You can also do most other kinds of stitches other than single crochet, so instead of single crochet back loops only or front loops only, you could do half double crochet, etc. And you can do those in the front loops or the back loops. So let's start with front loops only. For this strip, I chained 6 and then single crocheted across to have 5 stitches across. And then I would chain 1, turn, and single crochet in the front loops across. So we're gonna just continue this strip. So I chained 1, I'm gonna turn my work, and now we're gonna single crochet in the front loops only. So what is the front loop? This letter V right here is a stitch. That is the full stitch. So if we were just doing normal, we would insert our hook into both. But since we're doing front loops only, we're just gonna do it in this side of the V, the side that is closest to us, like that. So that's the front loop. And so we're just gonna insert our hook into there and do a single crochet. If you need a refresher on how to single crochet, you can see that lesson in my playlist as well. And that is a front loop single crochet. So if you look on the back here, that other half of the V was left alone. Does that make sense? So if you see these other V's as they go along, I stitched only into the front loop of this V. So let's do it a couple more times. It's a little confusing at first, but seriously, once you get it, it's so easy. I always look at the letter V and do the loop closest to me only. And I'm just gonna single crochet like normal. If I can get it over the hook. There we go. Okay, one more time. In the loop closest to me, that's the front loop only. And I'm just gonna single crochet. Okay, so that's 3 front loops only, single crochets. And I'm just gonna finish out the row. Got a little step there. There we go. And then to do the next row, we're gonna chain 1 and turn like we did. And we're always gonna do the side of the V that's closest to us. So no matter what row you're on, if it's front loops only, you're always gonna do the side of the stitch that is closest to you. Okay? And I'll just finish out this row. So this is front loops only. We're leaving, so we're only doing half of the stitch, because typically one stitch is 2 loops to insert into. Again, this letter V right there. Normal stitch, we would go through both of those, though we normally would do it like that, but we only want to go in the front loops, so we're just going to go in that loop close. Okay? And that is front loops only. So it's a little spread out, but it's still stretchy, which is nice. Okay, now let's move on to back loops only. So again, this strip is done in back loops only. You can see it's a little more compact than the front loops only one was, and it stretches pretty far. I love this one for ribbing. I will show you how to do it. So we're gonna chain 1 like we did on the other, turn. Now, let's look at our letter V. The back loop is gonna be the loop furthest away from you instead of the one closest to you, and then just single crochet like normal. So instead of doing this front loop like we had done, we're going to do the back one. And this one I feel like is actually easier than the front loops, or at least, I don't know, it feels easier to do. Maybe it's the way that the row tilts, but and there you go. That's a row of back loops only. Let's do one more row, and remember, no matter what row you're on, if it says back loops only, always do the loop furthest from you, not the one close to you, so you don't have to alternate between, if you're doing back loops only, you don't have to alternate between doing this one and then doing this one for the next row. You just always do the loop furthest from you. Oops, I pulled up an extra thread. Okay, one more time, and then I'll finish out the row. Okay. We'll just finish that up. This one is so easy. It works up so fast, and it makes a really nice and useful texture. There you go. Again, see how that's so stretchy. Really useful for hats, all sorts of stuff. And that's it. So this one we did front loops only. This one was back loops only. They create a little bit different textures, both really useful and nice and stretchy for different projects. I actually do have a free pattern up on my blog that utilizes back loops only in a really simple way. It's called the Stretchy Crochet Wristlet Keychain, and I'll put a link to the free pattern in the description of this video and you can check it out. Remember that all of these lessons are saved into a playlist on my channel called Crochet Basics for Absolute Beginners. Make sure to save that playlist for easy reference in the future. And in the next lesson, we're going to cover how to do a front post double crochet and a back post double crochet. These are both really useful skills to know in lots of different projects and for lots of particular stitches like the alpine stitch, the waffle stitch, and more. Make sure to subscribe so you can be notified of new crochet patterns and tutorials, and I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!